Loneliness creeps in unnoticed. Old age doesn't come alone. It brings with it a quiet, insidious danger that many people notice too late. Loneliness. Have you ever wondered where the people you used to be friends with in your youth have gone? The ones who used to call you every day, invite you to celebrations, sit at the same table with you? Why is your phone silent now? Why is a trip to the grocery store the only social interaction you have all week? This is not a coincidence. This is not an accident. This is a pattern that starts long before you turn 60. But at that age, it becomes irreversible. Loneliness isn't just sadness. It's a death sentence. You might think loneliness is just boredom or mild sadness. But science says otherwise. Social isolation increases the risk of premature death by 50%. It's more dangerous than smoking or obesity. It speeds up dementia, deteriorates the brain, and weakens you physically. Lonely people are more likely to die from strokes, heart attacks, and cancer. Why? Because there's no one to remind them about doctor's appointments, medications, or even the need to eat on time. Loneliness isn't just, "I feel sad." It's the breakdown of your body and mind. It's years being cut short. It's a disease that kills millions. Why are you at risk? Let's be honest. Your phone isn't silent because people have become cruel. It's silent because you've been replaced. When you were working, you had a life. Colleagues, clients, employees. They all created the illusion of a social circle. People called you because they needed you. They invited you because it was beneficial to be friends with you. But now you're a person who no longer has anything to offer. Your significance has faded, and with it, so have the people around you. And this is the biggest lie that older people tell themselves. I haven't lost anyone. People just left on their own. No. They left because you didn't hold on to them. Because you stopped being a part of their lives. Because you didn't call first. Because you didn't invest in relationships. People don't disappear for no reason. You have to make an effort to keep them. If you don't, they leave forever. What to do? Acknowledge the problem. Yes, you're losing friends. Yes, your social circle is shrinking. This isn't someone else's fault. It's your responsibility. No one is obligated to hold on to you if you let them go. Start acting immediately. Don't wait for calls. Make them yourself. Reconnect with old friends, send messages, organize meetups. If you don't want to end up alone, fight for the people in your life. But even if you start acting right now, that's just the first step. If you think loneliness is just boredom and sadness, in Part 2, we'll explore just how terrifying the consequences are for those who don't fix the situation. The terrifying truth about what happens to lonely people. You think loneliness is just quiet evenings in front of the TV? You're wrong. Loneliness is a disease that destroys you faster than a heart attack. Loneliness kills you from the inside, slowly but relentlessly. It doesn't just make life dull, it deteriorates your brain, your body, and your will to live. Science says lonely people's brains deteriorate twice as fast. Neuroscientists studied thousands of elderly people and concluded, lack of social interaction accelerates brain atrophy. Dementia and Alzheimer's develop 2 to 3 times more often in lonely people. The ability to focus, remember, and analyze disappears before your eyes. Now imagine, you wake up and don't remember why you went to the kitchen. You look at the kettle and don't know how to turn it on. You get lost on a familiar street, unable to recall your own house number. This isn't a fantasy. This is reality for those who lose social connections. Your body starts to die too. You think loneliness is just sadness? No, it physically kills you. Here's what research shows. Lonely people are more likely to die from heart attacks and strokes. because there's no one to remind them about doctor visits, medications, or even just to eat on time. Socially isolated people live an average of 7 to 10 years less. Loneliness increases the risk of cancer because the immune system collapses without emotional support. Now think about it. When was the last time someone genuinely cared about your well-being? What if you have a heart attack tomorrow? What if you fall at home and there's no one to help you up? What if your phone doesn't ring not just for a day, but for a week? Right now, this might seem exaggerated, but thousands of people die alone, and no one discovers them for weeks. A real story. Loneliness that killed an ordinary retiree in Chicago. He worked all his life, was the soul of the company, had family and friends. But then he retired, stopped maintaining relationships, withdrew into himself. 2 years later, he was found dead in his apartment. No one had looked for him for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, his body decayed in solitude. Think about it. If this happened to you, who would notice? Do you think you still have time? Do you think things will change on their own tomorrow? You're wrong. What to do? Go outside every day. Loneliness isn't just about lacking friends. It's about lacking any human contact. Even the cashier at the store, a neighbor, a passerby, it all matters. Keep your brain active. Every day, your brain is either working or dying. Read, learn, train your memory, master new technologies. Don't let yourself deteriorate. Keep your connections alive. Don't wait for someone to remember you first. Pick up the phone and call. Remind people you exist, make plans, send messages. But even if you're ready to fight, that's still not enough. In Part 3, we'll discuss the biggest mistake that even those who try to maintain friendships still make, and why they end up alone anyway. Why do people avoid the elderly? You try to maintain relationships. You call your children and grandchildren. You suggest meeting up with friends. But for some reason, everyone is always busy. Let's do it next week, they say. But next week never comes. Sorry, I'm just really swamped right now, they repeat over and over. We'll definitely see each other. But it never happens. Why? Why are people avoiding you? The answer is unpleasant but honest. You have become uninteresting. Why do people distance themselves from you? You might think the problem is with them, that young people have the wrong priorities, that your grandchildren are ungrateful, that your friends have just become lazy. But the harsh truth is, people don't want to interact with those who drain their energy. The biggest mistake older people make is that they unknowingly become toxic. Here's how it happens. You talk more and more about the past instead of living in the present. You constantly complain about your health, turning every conversation into a never-ending list of ailments. You criticize young people saying, "Things were better in my day." You expect attention and care, but give nothing in return. Over time, people start avoiding these conversations. They're not interested. They want joy, positivity, and forward movement. And if all you bring is whining and complaints, they push you away. How does social isolation happen? Let's look at a real situation. A woman, 65 years old. She once had a big family, friends, and an active life. But as she aged, she started complaining about everything. Doctors are terrible. Her pension is too small. Her children are ungrateful. Young people are rude. Everything is too expensive. TV shows aren't what they used to be. The result? Within 5 years, everyone avoided her. Even her own children. Even those who once loved her. She didn't understand why. She hadn't done anything wrong. But that was the problem. She hadn't done anything right either. How to avoid becoming toxic? Stop complaining. You can talk about your problems, but don't make them the only topic of conversation. Instead of whining, look for solutions. Be interesting. Learn new things. Explore new technologies, new topics. Discuss what excites others. Stay curious, keep learning, follow current events. Give people energy instead of taking it away. People are drawn to those who uplift them, bring joy, and inspire. Be someone people want to talk to, not someone they want to avoid. But even if you start changing, that alone isn't enough. In the final part, we'll uncover the biggest reason why elderly people end up completely alone, even if they have family, even if they try to maintain friendships. The main reason for loneliness and how to overcome it. Are you ready for the truth? Loneliness after 60 is not inevitable. It's a choice. And the main reason people end up without friends isn't age, illness, or the fact that everyone moved away. The main reason is the fear of change. You create your own loneliness. You think aging is a reason to slow down, withdraw, learn less, go out less. You stop trying new things, stop seeking new friendships, stop fighting for your life. You're afraid of looking foolish if you try to learn modern technology. You think, making new friends at 65? That's ridiculous. You're scared to step outside your comfort zone. And before you even realize it, you shut the door to a new life. And after that, there's only decline. What happens when you fear change? You stop trying new things. You stop being interesting to others. Your social circle shrinks to nothing. Your personality fades away. An elderly person who doesn't grow, doesn't move forward, becomes invisible to society. You stop being valuable. People stop inviting you. People stop noticing you. And in the end, the most terrifying picture. You sit at home. No one calls. No one writes. No one cares how you're doing. And it's not because people are cruel. It's because you refused to change. A real story, choosing between loneliness and life. A man, 72 years old. His whole life was routine. TV, backyard, couch. He believed that at his age, it was too late to make new friends, learn, or try something new. But at 73, he took a single step. He tried dancing. By 75, he had new friends. By 78, he met a woman, and now they're happy together. One step, and life changed. One fear, and life could have ended in loneliness. Now ask yourself, what choice will you make? What to do? Pick up a new hobby. Your brain needs to stay active. Your life needs new meaning. Learn a language, play an instrument, try volunteering, start a blog. Step out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to try new things. Modern technology, online courses, new acquaintances, these are the paths to living, not just existing. Start now. Every day you delay is another step toward loneliness. There's no tomorrow. There's only today. Your choice. Life or loneliness. Aging is not a death sentence. But if you don't start changing your life right now, one day you will wake up completely alone. Don't let that happen. Take action.